What's going on, guys? Gearing with Architect. Welcome back to Story Time, and this is actually a very exciting episode for me because I'm recording this in a brand new program, because an audio program, by the way, not like a, I don't know what other kind of weird program you guys were thinking about, but I mentioned and I'm currently actually enrolled in college now. I got accepted into college I talked about in the last grinding episode, and with that actually came the free, or the entire Adobe suite of programs for free because I'm a student. So I'm using Adobe Auditions. I don't even know how this program works. I'm not even 100% sure I'm actually recording my voice at the moment, but I do have two stories for you guys today as you watch the grinding. I try to mix it up a little bit, and I don't just do the bikers. I actually go and explore some routes and battle trainers and stuff, so it's pretty exciting. But these two stories together, this episode is called Porn Police, because the two stories we have are about porn and cops. So let's get started with story number one. So this story happened to me a couple years ago. I was sitting in my room on a Friday night trying and failing to not spend unhealthy amount of hours on Tumblr. Yeah, I know how that feels. My cousin Savannah, who at the time attended UNC Charlotte, which is about 10 minutes from our house, had dropped by a few hours ago to use our printer. Fast forward about 4 hours and everybody but me is asleep. Seizing the opportunity, I decided to visit Pornhub. I got on and typed something into the search bar. For the sake of viewers, I won't say what I was looking up. Thank you. But then I decided I wanted to watch something else. My intention at this point was to press delete to remove the text. Question number one, why not use backspace? Whatever. However, I didn't look very closely when I pushed the button, and I pressed another one instead. Print screen. I should point out at this point that this button, when it's pressed on my computer, the screenshot will automatically print. Realizing the only printer in my house is in my parents' room, I had a small panic attack before remembering that I'm the only one who actually ever uses it. And I always turn it off afterwards. I began to relax when a troubling thought popped into my mind. I wonder if Savannah turned off the printer. Seconds later, I heard the petrifying sound of the printer whirling to life down the hall. If I didn't do something fast, my parents would wake up, hear the printer, and go to see the Pornhub screenshot I just printed. What I did next is some of the quickest thinking I've ever done. Like a bullet, I jumped up and sprinted up to the living room and grabbed my backpack. I dug through the binders until I found a report I had done weeks ago. I then sprinted back to my parents' room right as the printing is completed. My parents were starting to wake up and were asking me what I was printing. Hiding my report behind my back, I walked over to the printer, slyly placed it on top of the screenshot, and picked both up, with only the essay showing. I told them I'd forgotten that I needed to print off this report, which was a pretty dumb lie considering it was a Friday night, but they were both half asleep and my story seemed to satisfy them. As soon as I left the room, I crumbled up the screenshot and flushed it down the toilet. To this day, I have never been caught watching porn. Wow, friggin' that close. I gotta admit though, that was really fast thinking. I don't think I would have thought of anything that fast. I probably would have just ran in there, grabbed the paper, and just been like, oh, I was just printing something I found online, because I don't think they would have been like, oh, let me see, or anything like that. But that's just my family, and luckily my printer was always in the living room, and I wouldn't have to worry about that. But you might want to consider taking print screen off of automatically printing, because that might get you in some trouble. But our second story now is where the police come in. Hello, Hardy. So this story happened a long time ago, but it's still told whenever I see my brother. You can use my name. I don't know your name. I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere in the story though. Okay, so a little background on my dad. He has the mindset of my brother and I, two teenage boys, were always working that we can never get in any trouble. So every summer he always gave us a big project to do and not let us have any fun until it was over. When I was 17 and my brother was 15, he made us paint the entire house. But that's not the story I'm going to be talking about. When I was 13 and my brother was 11, my dad gave us a summer project: renovate the entire bathroom. Of course, he turned off all the air conditioning, which made it very hot. We were young, so we took a lot of breaks hanging our heads out the window. And one day, I had some plaster in my hand, plaster, by the way, if you didn't understand the word I said there. I had some plaster in my hand and accidentally dropped it out of the window. It made a huge puff of smoke like a ninja would use to escape. So I immediately yelled to my brother, "Hey Mike, come check this out." And for the next 10 minutes, we were throwing little bits of plaster out on the street to make a cloud of dust. Mike gets the idea to throw a huge piece out the window. I agree, and right when he throws it out the window, a cop car comes by and it hits the hood of the car and dents it. I immediately duck my head back inside and hide the best I could. But my brother actually stays out the window to see what will happen, with his head still completely out the window. The cop gets out of his car and looks around and sees Mike awestruck, face hanging out of the window. At this time, I'm completely horrified and fearing for my life. The cop points at Mike and comes to our door, and then I hear my dad yell, "Eric, Mike, come down here now!" My brother being 10, although you said he was 11 earlier. Your brother confuses me. My brother being, I'm going to go with 11 because that's what you said earlier. My brother being 11 and not really realizing exactly what was going on, comes down the stairs with a goofy and happy face. And right when the cop sees him, he yells, "There's my criminal." My dad was in too much shock to even punish my brother. He was a mix of cracking up and being a disappointed father at the same time. I don't think Mike ever got punished for hitting that cop car, but my other siblings and I rib him all the time about it whenever we get together. And now it's a family legend. Well, now it's also a storytime legend. So, I want to remind anybody out there watching this, if you guys have any interesting, exciting, or funny, unique stories that you'd like me to read on future episodes of Storytime, please message them to me on YouTube by going to my channel page, clicking the About section, and then clicking Send Message. I realize they do make it a little bit difficult to find. YouTube's kind of a butt like that. But that is going to do it for us today, guys. If you enjoyed this video and want more story time, please feel free to show your support by clicking the like button down below, because it lets me know that you guys are enjoying these type of videos. But until then, I'm Party Tech Yo-Yo. Thank you to the people who submitted today's stories.